Hi. Hi. Hi, guys. I like the color. Yeah, some color. Mm. Hi. How was your day? Mine was boring. It rained. It rained all day. I like that part. I did. Because then you're forced, you're forced to just settle the freak down, when it rains. I don't know why. It's just like this internal antenna we have that just says, just mellow out, people. Enjoy the cleanse. Yes. And that's what I did. I bundled up all day. I did. I watched the rain through my window. Then I came downstairs and filmed the water. It was so pretty. Hi. It's dark, huh? Yeah. You know, even though it rained, we had a little bit of sunlight. At the very end of the day, must have been like 4:30 or 5, something like that. And the sun peeked through. It was so beautiful. I got a little bit of that on film. I just gotta edit it. Yeah, I'll make some videos. You guys like my music videos? Yeah? I love making those. You want to talk about those? I've talked about how I lived in Mexico uh, since 16 to like 21, okay? I lived in Mexico. Can you imagine being raised in California? And I was raised in a Spanish-speaking household, but I always considered my primary language to be English. I don't know why. I was always more comfortable speaking English than Spanish. So I get shipped off to a Spanish-speaking country at 16. And I have to polish up on my Spanish because I've been around Spanish my whole life. Yeah. So I understand it well. I can write it excellently. I can read and write. I can pronounce, but I'm not fluent. I can't like express my feelings or anything like that. So anyway, I've always considered English to be my primary language, and I end up in Mexico. So I was at the mercy of, we had these huge satellite discs, you guys, where we could tune into channels from all over the world. Yeah. So I was able to tune into like channels from California, for example, or the United States. So I'd get to watch MTV. And at that time, oh my gosh, I was newly married, and my husband at that time loved investing our money in like the highest tech sound systems and televisions and all that stuff. So I got to enjoy it. So when I was home alone, I'd get on that satellite dish and I'd look up MTV. So instead of turning on the radio that's full of commercials, I would turn on MTV. And I'd have videos always playing in the background while I was taking care of my baby or doing my housework or cooking or cleaning. So I've been exposed to music videos, you guys, since the 80s. But I mean heavily exposed, where it was always on in the background because I was at the mercy of those MTV videos just to speak English or hear others speak English so that I wouldn't forget my English language. So now I'm an expert at filming music videos because during that whole time, you guys, my imagination went wild. I could picture like incidents in my life and apply them to a song. And I could like daydream about my life with a song. And I'd have a little music video in my head all the time. I love listening to music because it kept me in touch with my feelings. That was good because I didn't numb out. I was always very aware of my emotional needs and, where I was lacking. Yeah. Especially where my parents lacked. Yeah. So anyway, why'd I go there, you guys? I don't know. It's late for me. And I didn't get any sunshine. But you know what I do have, you guys? Oh, let's talk about this. I have coffee today. No bueno, no bueno. I'll tell you why right now. Look at, oh, let me see it. Oh, I can't hold. It has a really cute koala bear, but it's on the other side. I can't show you. Hold on. Oh, it's so good. It tastes so good, you guys. But let me tell you why it's no bueno. Because coffee, especially if we drink it right before bedtime, like me, it's going to release cortisol. You know what cortisol does in our body, you guys? It bloats us. Yes. It shows up first thing in your middle area the next morning. It does. So you don't want to provoke excess cortisol to go through your body, especially not at night. No. I think a couple cups during the day is okay. But I need it now. I didn't get my sunshine. I just want a little boost. Oh well. I'll suffer the consequences, which is usually puffy eyes. So I'll have to drink a lot of water tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of water. Hi. Hi. Just sign off. It's okay. It's all right. You could come back when everybody's sleeping. Yeah. You can watch me in private. That's what all my haters do, you guys. They don't want to watch me live, but they'll come in the middle of the night while I'm editing. And they'll watch me then, yeah. Anyway, cortisol, you guys. Let's talk some more about cortisol, okay? Let me just take one more sip. It's so bueno. Es muy bueno. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's going to keep me up. Anyway, cortisol, you guys. Oops. We release cortisol when we are operating under survival mode. And guess what? Most of us are in that mode. Just surviving. Yeah. When I was in survival mode, I'm not anymore. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Yeah. Because I learned how to get out of it, and I want to teach others. When I was in survival mode, I had to go to work. I had to commute. I had to drop off children at school. I had like a whole home life besides my job life. And I was in survival mode. And you could see it in my face. My face was puffy. I had excess cortisol, you guys, running through my body. I wasn't one of those people that gained weight like in specific areas. It was like evenly dispersed, which was fluid. It was just fluid, you guys. And that's what cortisol does. Hi. Hi, Mary Gonzalez. Hi. I'm talking about cortisol, Mary. And I want to tell you how I was bloated and with inflammation because I was in survival mode. And you're probably in survival mode too, okay? Cortisol bloats our middle section really bad. Under our eyes too. You know what else gives us cortisol? Excess cortisol? Abusive husbands, yeah. Abusive, narcissistic husbands or wives. Or wives. Because we know there's abusive wives. Oh, yeah. Goes both ways. When you're in an abusive relationship, and this could be an employer too. Employers are very toxic. And you're like tied to them. So you have to put up with their shit. And guess what that does? That makes us fat too. Because of the cortisol. It puts us in survival mode, you guys. When we're under abuse, I don't care who it's from. Even society abuses us. Yes. You're excreting excess cortisol. And that's what makes us fat. Okay? I want everybody to know that because I felt so much shame my whole life for being overweight and not being able to control it. No matter what I did. You can ask anybody that I lived with my whole life that saw how I ate. I was never gluttonous. There was no reason for me to be overweight. I was like so cautious of the things that I ate. So it was the cortisol that was making me inflamed. All that trauma from being abused in my marriages. What about when I was a kid? They used to call me fatso. Can you imagine how much cortisol I was releasing when I was being bullied by my siblings and my father? My father taught them, you guys. I've always had a round face. I was so ashamed of the shape of my face. I had these big cheekbones and my face was round. And can you imagine when I was overweight, it would get even more round. And my father would say to my siblings, "Oh, look at her. Her face is shaped like a flour tortilla." And then all my siblings would laugh. And I would hide under the dinner table and I'd cry. So if you're inflamed, it's the freaking cortisol from being abused by everybody. Even the fuckers that are, on the road with rage, that are honking their horn and don't let you get away with anything. They want to come after you. Can you imagine all that cortisol while I was commuting? Having to avoid all these crazy assholes. So yeah, I get emotional because there was so much self-hate involved, you guys. And it was cortisol. It was never overeating. I was shamed into feeling like I was doing something wrong. And I wasn't. I was reacting to the people in my life that were abusing me my whole life. My bodies, my cells, they heard and felt the abuse and they didn't forget it until I processed it. I had to get it unstuck from my cells. All that cortisol, all that abuse. It's all connected and it's all related. I did a cleanse, you guys, with a fast. I did a 3-day fast personally. I was taught that in one of my yo-yo diets. 3-day fast, you guys. And then after that, I did a cleanse. I cleansed all my organs, my internal organs, my detoxification system, yeah. When I did that, all that trauma that I had held on to from working 2 and 3 jobs, from raising 4 children, from having abusive husbands and employers, all that trauma was stuck in my tissues. But when I did the cleanse, you guys, it released everything. I was crying for a few days. You grieve. You go through this grieving process because it's sad what we're put through by our loved ones. It is. People like me, you guys, and if you have excess cortisol, you've probably been bullied your whole life. I was bullied my whole life. And I was able to connect the dots, you guys, that my weight issues had more to do with me being bullied than me having a bad diet and overeating. Because I cooked home meals. We didn't eat out. Couldn't afford it. So I always had healthy food at home. There's no reason for me to be overweight other than the excess cortisol. So that's your homework tonight. Go research what excess cortisol does in our body and how to get rid of it. You know what a big part that helped me is praying. Yeah. I'm like in meditation mode most of the day, which means, you guys, it's simple. Meditation doesn't mean you have to like cross your legs and put your hands in a certain position. Although that's good too. The mudras, that's awesome. But you don't have to. Being in meditation mode means you're always in the present moment with full gratitude and contentment for your present moment. No matter what it is, okay? No matter what. When you're like that, cortisol, you never produce it. Because you're always at peace. No matter what. No matter who yells at you or not. No matter who bullies you or does anything to you. Okay. You're good. Research how to purge your traumas because it's going to purge your cortisol. I promise. Yeah. Hi, Mary. Hi. Always seen the protector type. You're all ears. Hi. I had 4 babies, Mary. I'm a nurturer at heart. I am. My babies grew up and they have their own families now. Yeah. And now I just offer help to anybody who needs it. Anybody who wants to hear it, because I was abused my whole life, Mary. And I wish somebody would have offered me that help. Yeah. So now I know that God allowed me to come out at the other end of the tunnel where the light is. Yeah. So I can help others get over it. I've gotten over so much. And you could too. You can. You can. We can heal. Start with a cleanse. Cleanse your detoxification system. Because I bet it's all stuck in there still. After that, everything gets better and you get younger, Mary. I'm going to be 59. Can you believe that? In a couple days, in a few days, 59. I've been getting younger since I purged all that poison out of me. Yeah. I gave it back to the perpetrators. I gave them back their shame. I refuse to carry their shame anymore. I already punished myself enough for what they did to me. No more, Mary, no more. Take your power back. Yeah. Love yourself unconditionally. Because I made a lot of mistakes that I could hold, myself like with too much shame for. But no, we're allowed mistakes. We got to learn from them and move on. Move on to new you, better you. Bye, you guys. I drink my coffee before it gets cold. Bye. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Keep watching. Subscribe. Yeah.